Today, I'm making chicken parm. Chicken parmesan? Chicken parmesan. Whatever you call it, it's fantastic. We're making it today. Let's go. Chicken parm is never really that bad. I mean, how could it be bad? It's breaded chicken, a lot of cheese, but sometimes it's not all that great. We're gonna use a couple of tips and tricks, and just a little bit of work is gonna make a really, really good chicken parm. Let's get started with the chicken. We're gonna start with chicken breast. Get that out of the package. One of the problems with chicken breast is that they're thicker than we want. So we're gonna split these in half. Put it on a cutting board, hold your hand on top, push down slightly, and then carefully slide your knife through it. You want all the pieces to be about the same thickness so that they cook in the same amount of time and cook evenly. Now, to amp up the flavor in these, we're going to brine them. You're supposed to use buttermilk, but where I live, you can't find that. How to make a substitute, which is just milk and vinegar. Any acid works, or just use buttermilk. Then I'm gonna add some chopped up garlic, pepper, and some salt. Whisk that together, and then add my chicken into the pseudo buttermilk mixture. Give that a toss around so everything is coated in the liquid. And then into a Ziploc bag, I'm gonna add my pieces of chicken, the rest of the mixture, seal that up, try and get as much air out of it as you can, and then it goes in the fridge for minimum of 1 hour, ideally about 4. Next step is to make our sauce. I need a big pot and add some olive oil. Then add some whole crushed cloves of garlic. Set my stove to medium-low. Stir that until it just starts to sizzle, probably about 2 minutes, and then add some crushed red pepper flakes. About another 2 or 3 minutes, just until it starts to smell fragrant, and then add some dried oregano. Another minute or so of cooking here, and we are ready to start adding our tomatoes. We're gonna add tomato paste, so we've got a couple of different layers of tomato flavor. Just cook that out for about 2 to 3 minutes till it looks a little like this, and then I'm adding a can of crushed tomatoes. Stir that around so everything is gently mixed, bring it to a simmer, add a couple of sprigs of basil, just goes right in, and leave this to simmer. After about 45 minutes, we have a nice, really thick, really simple tomato sauce. Try to scoop out the basil sprigs that we put in there and add a knob of butter. This isn't the most Italian thing in the world, but I think it's really good. Give our sauce a taste, needs a bit of salt, and our tomato sauce is done. Now we're gonna set up our breading station. We've got 3 different shallow bowls. First, we're gonna create the outside layer. So I'm gonna add some breadcrumbs. I managed to find these crispy breadcrumbs. They're sort of like panko breadcrumbs. It's gonna give us a contrast in textures. Next, this is chicken parm. So we need some parm, a few turns of fresh black pepper, mix it together, and we can move on to our second bowl. Add some whole eggs. I'm using 2 of them, and a little bit of that buttermilk mixture from earlier. Lightly whisk all of that so that everything is combined. And then finally, in our third bowl, we're just adding some all-purpose flour. Bowl of flour, bowl of eggs, and a bowl of breading. My chicken has spent a few hours in the fridge, so we can start breading these. We start by dunking it in the flour mixture first. Just give that a turn and maybe a little bit of a pat so it's all coated, and then dunk it in the eggs. This acts as a sort of glue for the breading that's gonna go on the outside. Dip that in the breading mixture, make sure every little piece is covered, turn it a few times, press down to make sure everything is adhered, and then just set that on a wire rack. We're ready to go to a frying pan. I have a carbon steel pan, which works really well. You could use any pan here, cast iron, stainless steel, add some neutral flavored oil. And we're gonna get this going to about 375 to 400, and then add in our chicken cutlet, I guess you would call this. Give that a little shake so it doesn't stick to the bottom. What we're trying to do here is just color the outside. So about 90 seconds, I flipped it over. Then I like basting it with just a spoon to really get a nice golden brown exterior. After about another 90 seconds on that side, I'll flip it one more time, give it another quick baste on this side, and then take it out of the oil and put it on a plate lined with a paper towel. And finally, our last step is we're going to bake the chicken cutlets. Into an oven-safe dish, I'm going to add a thin layer of my tomato sauce, and then put our chicken cutlets, our fried chicken cutlets, right into the dish. A little more sauce down the center of the 3 cutlets, some more Parmesan cheese, and then I have fresh mozzarella, which I'm just going to rip up and put on top of our sauce. This is going to be really cheesy, and then it's going in a hot 425 Fahrenheit oven for about 20 minutes. So you'll have something that looks a little like this, really nice and golden brown and delicious. Add a bit more Parmesan cheese on top and let it rest for 3 minutes. Add a bit of Italian parsley, and we are ready to plate this up. This looks super good, super crunchy, super cheesy. Let's give it a try. Super delicious, and the chicken is actually still well cooked even though we fried it and baked it. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe if you want to see more videos. That's it for today. See you next time.